Play.
And speaking of the end of the season, it's the WTA finals happening on Saturday. So I don't know. I think we still need to sit down and sort of plan a proper preview for it, just to kind of go into what we kind of know now for some updates. Last week, Miles and I were talking about players who might or might not be playing. Looks like all of the 8 are in Riyadh or heading to Riyadh. So as it currently stands,
yeah, actually, I'd forgotten that it starts on Saturday, so that's a good that's a good thing to mention, Nick. I was expecting it to be a Sunday start, but I just checked. It's November 2nd and the 9th, which is good, I guess, because it won't be clashing with the ATP finals, the finish.
Yeah, and the finals on Saturday as well. So the final, I've been looking at this. The final's going to be. So yeah, Saturday to Saturday run, which is great because you're right, doesn't clash with the ATP finals. Does clash a little bit with the end of the Paris Masters, which is happening this week on the ATP side. We were talking about this last week with like who might or might not be playing, whether Rybakina is going to play, whether Krejcikov is going to play. Everyone seems to be in Riyadh, and Rybakina's already pretty much put a statement out saying she's playing, and we've started seeing pictures of her practicing. So I guess there's a little bit of a following up from the conversation that Miles and I had, which you can go back and watch the separate video of if you don't want to go through the whole episode, where we both basically said maybe with the best not for Rybakina not to play, but this does seem to be playing into the scenario that I put forward where it kind of works for her to play coming in fairly fresh and wanting to end a difficult year on a high. And part of me is kind of interested to see what a fully fresh and maybe newly motivated Rybakina could do at the WTA finals against maybe opponents like Arena might be. How much gas does Arena have? How much is Iga and Wim for sets still working things out? You know, there's a possibility that Rybakina could do something.
Yeah, I'm definitely not ruling it out, but it would be. It's just nice to see her like back in the whole field with mixing it with these top players, because she does provide that really nice contrast. And obviously, when she's playing the sort of tennis that she was in the first 3 or 4 months of the year, then she's like a real factor at every big tournament. So it'd be nice. And also, like, she's now split ways with Bukov, and like that's gone a different direction. And like hopefully she's just much more happier on court, because she wasn't happy for many months and going through quite a lot off the court. But we don't know the full details, but clearly she was suffering from some illnesses and the coaching stuff. So yeah, hopefully she'll be fully healthy, and then we'll see some good tennis. The expectations are not very high for her in general, so she can kind of use that to her advantage.
Yeah, I think she might definitely want to get back into the top 4, because she doesn't want to risk playing Iga or Arena in a quarters of Australia instead of the semis. I think that would be the preferable option for her. And the WTA finals is certainly giving her a good opportunity to rack up some points.
If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe and click that notification bell so you don't miss out on all things tennis.
We are ready. Hola a todos, estoy aquí para comunicaros que
My name is Clara Towson, and I'm a friend of the show.
Boom.
I am Francisca George, and I'm a friend of the show.
Perfect.
Hi, my name is Susan Leemans, and I'm a friend of the show.
Boom. Yeah.
My name is Zainab Sammaz, and I'm a friend of the show.
Boom.
Hey guys, my name is Sasha Vickery, and I'm a friend of the show.
Boom.
Hi, my name is Lloyd Harris, and I'm a friend of the show.
Perfect.
Hi, my name is Jasmine Paolini, and I'm a friend of the show.
Wow, Jasmine, you got it in one time.
Hi, my name is Jaime Faria, and I'm a friend of the show.
Boom.
Yes.
Take one, well done.
Ready? Play.
Hey guys, day 3 of the WTA finals is upon us, and it's actually like crunch time for Rybakina and Zheng now. Hi Eddie, did you expect these two women to be in this position after the opening day of the group stage?
I mean, the fact that Zheng lost her first match is not that surprising against Sabalenka. I mean, obviously the record's not good for her against Sabalenka. I mean, although last time was a bit more encouraging, but at the moment, Sabalenka's just better than everyone at the moment. That's what it feels like. But yeah, I mean, for Rybakina, I mean, she hasn't really played, so it also wasn't that surprising as well that she had lost as well. So yeah, big match for both of these guys, and yeah, they're basically playing to stay in it, I would say. So I would make, though, just because she's been playing so much more recently, and you know, she's been pretty good recently as well. I don't think the conditions are overly quick. I'm not entirely sure about that, but I think Zhang has the slight edge here. But it'll be interesting to see how she does because. Hello, Damien?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm just fighting with my camera, but I'm here.
I don't know if you could hear me all there, but yeah.
Oh no, I could still hear you. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. But yeah, I don't know. So it's an intriguing one because I feel like, yeah, obviously because with Zheng's, her form recently has been pretty good, and you know she's had a great second half to the year, but there's still a bit of pressure on her, and she's going to have a lot of motivation to do well here. Maybe Rybakina also has something to prove, but she's had a bit more, let's say, experience at the higher levels, like so for longer. So yeah, I'm curious how do you think this is going to turn out, because I don't see much in it.
Yeah, I mean, obviously we had like absolutely no idea what sort of form Rybakina was going to be in. I was a little disappointed with her first-time performance. I mean, Paulini did fine for what she could, really. I think especially in the second set, she was very economical, and like whenever she actually had a chance to take initiative, she was doing it all that much more than in the opener. But also some of the Rybakina movement on the defense, and just in general, of course, you know, an avalanche of errors. It's it just wasn't great, and she's put herself in a really tough spot. Just like Sabalenka, she's been very dominant in the Zheng matchup. It's just that they haven't really played all that much, I suppose. I still think that this is a rivalry that will suit Elena going forward, just because similarly to Sabalenka, like she just takes so many assets away from Qinwen, and if she's serving well, especially, it's really tough for Qinwen to stop her. But after the opening performance, obviously, I'm not really sure what to expect from Rybakina. She might improve with every match, and then she still has a shot at getting out of the groups. But as you said, this is just not so much for both of them. I think obviously there will be some scenarios, especially as this is the first match of today. There will be some scenarios where the loser of this match still goes on to make it to the semis. But yeah, it's not going to be likely.
Yeah, I mean, I confess I didn't see much at all of that match with Rybakina's match, and yeah, and mostly just some highlights of well, both matches, but yeah, was been rather busy. Yeah, just the last few days, but yeah, I mean, it's an intriguing one, and as I say, sometimes it comes down, I think, in tennis when you're not that much in it level wise, it comes down to motivation. I think Zheng will be very motivated here, of course, but I'm just wondering about the conditions as well, because I know that it's not super fast. I know it's like I think it's like medium fast. Would you say the court, Damien? I don't know if you can hear me. I can't hear you, Damien.
I'm here.
fill in until Damien. I think I've heard the same, either medium fast or fast, but maybe Damien can confirm either way. Hi, Dave, in the
Yeah,
live.
it's definitely quite fast. I mean, it's also altitude. It's quite bouncy.
Right.
It's not the most rapid court we've ever seen, like when we had Krejcikova against Swiatek, Barbora, even though she, of course, was leading heavily. I don't think she was like able to put instant pressure on the Swiatek forehand or something like that. Like, no, that wasn't really happening. It was still on Iga's racket. But I mean, even the first day of matches, that was very telling. Qinwen can't really break Sabalenka in these conditions. Sabalenka only can like muster a couple of chances that she takes. Rybakina, Paolini, it was also pretty serve dominated. So I think it is fast, but it's nothing crazy, at least. So in this one, I would say that still favors Rybakina. It's just that, we just don't know if she's really going to be improving with every match, or is that first round performance going to be pretty much the mean of how she plays this week?
Yeah, an intriguing one, but I mean, I don't know where you are in the stream, but I've just seen Rybakina hit a forehand long there, and it's 30 love to Zheng. So
yeah, I'm going to try to find a stream that's like relatively similar.
Let's see if I can.
But you seem pretty quick there, actually, from what I can tell, at least for now.
Okay, good.
30 love already? I mean, we don't even have that on the scoreboard.
Yeah. Google's a bit funny sometimes. Sometimes it seems slow, and then other times it seems much quicker than you'd expect. So
maybe I'll just pull out the stream that I originally was, because John didn't tell me that I was going to have a partner for this one. So maybe I'll just pull out the stream that I originally was going to use, because it seems like you're pretty quick there. So that shouldn't be an issue. I don't know what happened in the chat. Oh, that's not exactly what I wanted to do right now. Sorry. Anyway, some early issues. Oh, you did? Oh. I had no idea. I thought you just gave me a thumbs up or something. That's fine, obviously. I don't mind either way. But yeah, now I'm on 40-15 for Qinwen, who is of course starting first.
yeah, 40-50, I've got that as well. So
okay, we should be pretty similar then, I think.
Yeah, that's good.
Later today, Sabalenka Paolini as well, the match that probably before the group stage, everyone was just like expecting to be a blowout. But right now, I mean, at least there's some intrigue in there, because Jasmine is clearly not going 0-3, and well, she just has two wins. Doesn't guarantee that you will make the semis, but she kind of has two matches where she can just swing freely and see what sticks, especially in this one.
And a decent start here for Zheng, of course. Just a one game, but maybe she can create a bit of pressure. We'll see how Rybakina comes out serving here, because that could be key. Yeah, I haven't actually seen too much of WTA or ATP the last week, because I was at the Challenger most days here, so, and just been quite busy in general, but yeah.
Yeah, I think that serving in general, I mean, we talk about it every now and then, really, but like Qinwen being, that having that sort of breakdown where she makes like 50% for first serves, this is something that could also hurt her in these conditions, and kind of was against Elena.
Yeah.
And if Elena can like keep her serve much easier than that, yeah, serving from both players really in these conditions, it should be key. Indeed, John did text me. He wasn't lying.
Yeah, and that's something that I would say that's holding back Zheng a little bit in terms of getting to that next level. I mean, in terms of being like a sort of top 5 top end of the ranking sort of player. I mean, she would really should be doing, when she gets that first 7, she gets a lot of free points, and she should be able to get more out of it. But yeah, it's going to create much more pressure for her against players like this.
Eddie, should Zheng be concerned about the head-to-head and the way things are panning out with Sabalenka, or do you think that there's a Yannick Sinner resurgence in her in terms of the situation he had with Medvedev?
I mean, I would say that she clearly does have a matchup issue against Sabalenka, but she may be able to get some of that back if, for example, if they were to play on clay, right? If depending on so there is that aspect as well. Obviously, Zheng, that's one of her better. She's pretty much as good there as she is on the hard courts. But yeah, I mean, it definitely does seem an issue. But as I say, obviously Sabalenka's flying right now. That doesn't necessarily mean that she's going to be all of next year or the following year. And what I would say with Zheng, though, is that it feels like although she's maybe a bit of a distance away in terms of getting to that level at the moment, I feel like she has sort of just steadily progressed, which is sort of positive from her perspective. I mean, but I think when we were talking about the serve, if someone can get her to up, that first serve percentage, just a few percentage points, I mean, I think that will make a big difference, and that's probably going to be necessary for her going forward.
Yeah. Of course, I'm slightly different point in the stream to you guys. I'm about a point behind, so I'm about to watch her win the second point of the game.
Yeah, she's just gone 15-30 at this point. And she's serving now, so yeah, a slight bit of pressure here. It's the first serve, and it's unreturned from Rybakina, so at 30-all.
I was just thinking about the coaching situation as well, and then the camera did pan to Riba, and they're all sort of, there's a bit of a merry-go-round. Of course, Naomi Osaka is not here at the WTA finals, but her former coach has gone to has gone to Iga Swiatek. I don't actually imagine Iga's former coach to sort of join the merry-go-round. It seemed to be more like a sort of a Polish thing.
Right.
I know that Iga was asked, by the way, about her reasoning for being keen on an international coach. I'm not sure she really addressed it. I did think that was a very curious part of the statement when she said that she was going to get a new coach. Maybe it was just a case of the fact that she didn't see any Polish options, rather than I am desperate to have an English-speaking coach, for example, as in communicate in English, but or have an international coach for that perspective. I just thought that was a very curious part of her statement, anyway.
Yeah, I mean, how long was she with the coach, though? It's been
2 years, no, maybe three.
Yeah,
it was after her first French Open win, but before the second. So I'm going to say 2021. Damien will know for sure. Damien's probably got the date tattooed somewhere.
Yeah, I mean, I guess she just felt. I mean, I don't think it's always a good thing to. I don't think it's a bad thing for her to change up the coach, but it's just. Yeah, sometimes you're better off staying with. I mean, she wasn't exactly doing that badly, but yeah, she's just. I think she's got high ambition, so
yeah.
That's
what
it is. So
she clearly wants to sort of build a resume, particularly at Grand Slams, away from Roland Garros. I know she's already won one US Open, but has she made a final elsewhere? No, she hasn't, has she? So I think that's part of the logic that she wants to build. Of course, her former coach is someone who's famous for taking away the drop shot from her game. So I wonder if that might get reintroduced. And someone who has introduced the drop shot to their game to great effect is Arina Sabalenka, none more so than at the US Open. By the way, Rybakina has seen a couple of great points come and go in this game.
Yeah, it's crucial here.
I think there's in terms of the way the draw has panned out, I think there's a sort of a slight bit of fortune and a slight bit of misfortune. The misfortune for Qinwen in that she played Sabalenka first. I think if you play, I'll just finish my sentence, Damien, then I'll let you go.
Yeah, go ahead.
I think if you get Sabalenka in the third match and she's already won 2 matches straight sets, that might be the best time to get Sabalenka. And the best time to get Rybakina is in the opening match, bearing in mind she's barely played, of course. So maybe Paolini got a little bit lucky in that respect.
So what's the best time to get Sabalenka? The second match?
No, last match. If she's already through.
Last match.
If she's already won 2 matches, already through.
Yeah.
So that's Rybakina Sabalenka then, right? In the third match. Like last year, I guess. Although Sabalenka wasn't already through then. But yeah, I mean, I agree that getting Rybakina in the first match, that was definitely what you were hoping for. Just get some rust. I mean, so far Elena is looking a bit better. Of course, didn't convert these 2 breakpoints, which was also an issue against Paolini. Like she would always have like 1 breakpoint a game and don't convert it, which isn't horrible. I mean, it's just 1 breakpoint per game, but still, that was kind of one of the stories of the match as well. Yeah, StreamYard was like really not allowing me to get back in, had to switch browsers. Anyway, there was also some talk I see about Iga, the new coach, and yeah, I agree that she probably already had some idea that she was gonna at least try it out with Fisset when she was announcing the departure from Viktorovski. And as Dave says, I think it's a very challenging team to be on. It's pretty funny because in Poland you can have these like random conversations with non-tennis people. And today I was at my grandparents, and there was this lady who is like a caretaker for my grandma, and she just suddenly like knows everything about the Świątek coaching situation, and she says that probably the sports psychologist, it's tough to be in a team like this where she's calling the shots. And she's talking to me about this because she knows I'm like doing whatever with tennis. But yeah, it's just funny because everybody, like regardless if they watch or not, everybody has an opinion on this topic.
Yeah, so she's obviously massive in Poland, but I'm just curious, actually, what other athletes have been as big as Iga? I mean, she's got to be one of the biggest ever, right? I mean, in Poland, there's other soccer players,
so, yeah.
footballers, but and so
even
on.
Footballers, I would say she only really. Is the camera okay? No, it's again never mind. The cable is horrible. Anyway, Damian's grandma is massive in Poland. Why did you call my grandma massive? You pig. Anyway, yeah, when it comes to sports people, I would say even footballers, only Lewandowski compares to her. There's definitely been ski jumpers that are at the same level. In the 2000s, we had this thing called Małyszomania because there was this guy, Adam Małysz, who was just like absolutely huge. Then later on, Kamil Stoch. I would say these guys were very similar as well. Maybe there's also a couple of like athletics people, especially Anita Włodarczyk. She's like the goat of hammer throw. But I think this is different because in hammer throw, you only have like 3-4 big events a year. Whereas Świątek, you have her pretty much like every month, sometimes every week. So I think we can only really compare her to Lewandowski and to ski jumpers. I think that's the only people that can really match her in terms of popularity. Right now, I mean, ski jumping in Poland isn't even that huge. It's, the results aren't there. So I think right now she can only really compare to Lewandowski.
And we've got a chance here, 2 break points here for Zheng, by the way. Decent serve.
Taking that drive,
yeah,
it's kind of risky, but Rybakina saves the first one. There was
Yeah,
some
like
talk I saw earlier in the chat as well about the serves of theirs. I mean, it's probably not that easy to say like who's the better server, but I would still go Elena for sure in terms of Dave's question there.
yeah, she's going to get a second serve here. So, oh, and that's a double. So
And that second serve is in the net, yeah. Well, will it be the Paulini match all over again for Rybakina, not taking breakpoints then? I don't remember if she was actually double faulting there though on breakpoints. Probably not. I don't really remember any double faults.
I mean, Zheng can certainly, go big on the return. So, yeah, maybe just feeling a bit of pressure. I mean, that's the thing is when you've been away from the match, from the game for a while, she hasn't played for a while. These sort of moments, you probably start to feel the pressure a bit when you have been away for a while. When you're playing matches regularly, you just get used to taking on these moments and winning matches. Then, yeah, just a bit of match rustiness maybe from Rybakina, but
yeah, definitely one of the easiest things to lose. That sort of match sharpness when you're not competing actively, and suddenly all these big moments feel bigger. And if you're winning 20 matches in a month, then and losing 5, then I mean, who cares? It's just one of many. Whereas right now for Elena, it's all about getting it back. But she's still in this set. Obviously, gets a great return here. I guess both of them will be like really going after their second serves. The big advantage maybe being that
we're
neither
talking about
will be landing many of them.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Because we're talking about Świątek in Poland. How presumably because of her as well being so big, Hubi as well gets quite a lot of attention, or does he not? I don't know. Or is he seen as some sort of disappointment?
Yeah, it's a tricky subject because he definitely doesn't compare, but on the other hand, of course, more people are invested in tennis. But I think sometimes he even gets negative press because of it, or people among especially casual tennis fans basically expect him to be Iga, expect him to have results like this, and they don't really, I think, appreciate him for what he is. Instead, they kind of just think of him as a flop, which is an unfortunate effect of this. But in general, is he getting more attention because of Iga? As like a general thing, yes, obviously. But it leads to some poor consequences as well. And he's definitely not the same in terms of just the media impact. It's not that Iga is even I don't know, someone who is just gonna steal everybody's attention or something like that. But I guess her results just kind of do it for you. Whereas, of course, Hubert is also very introverted, and I don't know, just that isn't really a big attention seeker. Definitely not.
Yeah.
And I think overall it maybe even sometimes is negative for him because people just expect so much from him, whereas I think what he's doing, and maybe not this year, maybe not the last few months, of course, with the injury, but over the last few years is already absolutely fantastic. I mean, finishing 3 years in a row in the top 10. But I don't think people, especially the casual fans, obviously they don't really appreciate that.
Yeah. Obviously, growing up in Britain can sort of relate to sort of the expectations they put on some of the sports stars as well, and tennis players especially. But yeah, Iga just obviously in a league of her own anyway, but be interesting to see how she does next year, and obviously here as well. But
yeah, I think Australia is going to be such a crucial time because people are going to expect results improvement. She's going to expect results and improvement because she hired a new coach basically to avoid stagnating or something like that. And in her case, stagnating would be once again losing in the third, fourth round or whatever in Australia at the US Open. So because she's hiring a coach like specifically to avoid it, to improve her game in conditions like this, yeah, there's gonna be quite a bit of pressure for her to go deeper in Australia this time. Of course, this is also where she will be somewhat likely to regain the #1 ranking, just because she's not defending much, and Arena is gonna be defending her title, a two-time defending champion, in fact. So yeah, I think that the Australian Open will really be quite a crucial moment. Of course, it's still too early to say something like, okay, if it doesn't work out, then clearly Fissette is not the right coach or something like that. But yeah, I mean, this is why she made that decision. So
yeah, so she'll be playing probably the United Cup, right?
yeah, I think as usual, she's probably just gonna go United Cup and then Australia.
Yeah.
It's worked out well the last. Well, I guess it's worked out well at the United Cup, then not really for Australia, but it wasn't the fault of the United Cup. I would say she got a lot of good warm ups out of the United Cup.
Yeah, this is a big point here because. Oh.
Yeah, this should be a lot 30, and it is. There was that one forehand from Zheng, which was a little fortunate to land.
Yeah, just stepping in, right? The one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that was like the perfect point for Rybakina, really. You know, she wants to crush that flat ball at the Zheng forehand, and in that case, I mean, Qinwen was very quick to like step in and take it away, but definitely a bit fortunate there to go 30 love up on the Rybakina serve again.
Yeah, for Zheng, it's like in the sort of quicker conditions, she really needs to be able to sort of be better for her to sort of flatten out the forehand a little bit more. Obviously, it's not really sort of her natural instinct, right? But
yeah,
I think she has got a bit better on that side for sure, and also sort of just dealing with this sort of because players are going to attack it, right? They're going to come in hard, and she does seem to have got better and sort of dealing with that, but.
It's probably dealing with that pace rather than creating. That's even a bigger issue. I mean,
yeah,
can't really complain, I guess, about this one that she just couldn't get back. But it's these sort of shots, yeah, that just make it tricky for her in conditions like this. As against Rybakina, Sabalenka still hasn't like really made a big impact in these matchups. Rybakina, Sabalenka. I mean, Sabalenka, of course, Wuhan, she almost beat her, I guess. And Świątek, she finally beat at the Olympics, but we know that Iga was like, yeah, just way too nervous to play in that semifinal. So I would say she's still kind of lacking that one signature win against one of these three women. So maybe this could be it, although it kind of depends on how Rybakina will play as well. Like if this is the way that the match will be progressing, we again will have some asterisks regarding, of course, Rybakina being out for so long.
Mm-hmm. And I haven't actually sort of observed it properly, but is it more or less a full house there? I'm not sure if it is.
Full house. No, yesterday actually it was pretty. Like yesterday was pretty empty, and that's because in Saudi Arabia the work days are from Sunday to Thursday. So I would assume that today it's gonna be the same, because like why would it be really? But on Saturday they had a huge crowd. So they're also going to have the final on Saturday, semis on Friday. I think these days should probably get a lot of crowd. But based on what we saw yesterday in Świątek Krejcikova, which was the same hour, probably it's not going to be too full now. Because the last time the WTA finals had a big crowd was probably in Europe, which, well, it's a little unfortunate, but.
Well, seems a bit better than the first next gen finals, but which was of course
Yeah, or
in
the
Jeddah.
Shenzhen WTA finals or Singapore WTA finals. They used to be like really empty. Fort Worth, obviously, also infamous for this. Well, complete lack of promotion, and then empty crowds. Yeah, Jeddah last year. Yeah, that was also not that amazing. Definitely not. This year a different date, but also once more in Jeddah.
I mean, we're talking about the next gen finals. There was that article about how they just bust in people to attend the final.
Yeah, like the Davis Cup did too. For the neutral matches.
Right.
Wow. Yeah, I think
That was a
weekend
good hold.
definitely. The championship weekend will be huge. And yes, indeed, it was a good hold. There were a couple of deuces here for Rybakina, but she was able to blast big serves when it mattered, really. And still has a couple more chances to look for a rebreak on the Zheng serve here. We also had this comparison when it comes to the stats of Rybakina returning pretty much directly on the baseline. Zheng a bit further back, giving yourself more time. Not maybe, well, stealing that time from Rybakina at the same time. By the way, is there another Mets withdrawal? I just got a notification which would suggest that already 3 of them, and I think this is going to be the fourth, and it is Cazo who lets in Guinard. So any more withdrawals in Mets and players who lost in the opening round of the qualifying will swoop in, basically. I think Dimitrov is also very, not sure about playing after the Paris fitness issues he had, and in general, just only really signing up for this event or taking the wild card because he had the chance for ATP finals. So that's going to be a bit of a mess there. Already 4 lucky losers in. That's not to say the WTA didn't bring us a bigger, a more chaotic event recently with Ningbo, where I think there were 7 lucky losers in the draw.
Yeah, end of the year. So what's happening?
Probably not an issue at the WTA finals, as Daniel Collins and Daria Kasatkina are waiting to potentially sub in for anybody. But if Krejcikova was fine yesterday, then I guess everybody will just keep playing. That was the one person I think we were thinking of potentially withdrawing because she had some shoulder thing, I think, before the WTA finals. Of course, Rybakina, up until a certain point, everyone was also unsure if she was going to play, but then they posted that photo from a private jet or something like that they were going to Riyadh. And who knows? Maybe she'll have a chance here. Another one of these deep flat shots at the Zheng forehand gets an error. Is that an ace? I guess it is.
Yeah. Important that 15-30, of course. Big difference between 15-40 and 30-0. So
yeah, finds the very corner of that service box.
And that's a good return there from Rybakina. Return winner.
Yeah, that's amazing. Going after the Zheng's second serve here. And she's gonna get another chance to, well, I wanted to say another chance to break back. It will be her first chance to break back, but of course she had a couple earlier on. As usual, the first serve of Zheng is gonna be quite crucial. If she lands it, we have a bit of a delay with that since it's just a let.
Yeah, it was a let, yeah. So
Not gonna make that down the tee. So second serve. We know what Rybakina will be trying to do. We saw it on the previous point.
Yeah, I think this is going to be a return winner, but let's see. Oh no, she didn't even have to do it. That was why I was long.
Return winner. I mean, you were wrong, but only because it's a double fault. I mean, this if we are talking about the previous one on breakpoint being like pressure induced, this one is surely right. I mean,
Yeah.
because of the previous point, she's just trying to go super deep down the middle, and she's not gonna make it.
Pretty big as well, and that was.
Yeah,
well,
clearly trying to go way too hard and way too deep because she was afraid of what was going to come. So yeah, they have now both been broken on breakpoints, on double faults. Some footage of Ons Jabeur, who showed up a couple of days ago in Riyadh. Apparently very popular there. I saw some photos where like she was just, overrun with people wanting a photo or an autograph. In fact, that's exactly what I'm seeing on my screen right now.
Yeah, I can see that as well. Well, I mean, if I'm Zheng now, I'm worried because I mean, I think getting the 5-2 up, I'll be thinking she's probably going to take the game here or set, but.
Yeah, and as Wookie is mentioning in the chat, there's actually this huge thing where, like, in Poland, everyone's for some reason cares about this Sportsman of the Year award, and I think Iga won it last year easily, but now Lewandowski is like really firing up in the second half of the year, so I actually think it will be very close. But for some reason, everybody in Poland is like crazy about it. Personally, like I just don't care at all. But when that time comes, when there's that gala and everything, Polish Twitter is just wild. So yeah, this year I think it will be pretty close. Maybe if Iga wins the WTA finals and secures #1, for example. But Lewandowski, he started the new season extremely well, so I think he will have a case as well. All right, 3-4 down, Rybakina then, after a real glimmer of hope for her the last couple of games. The last game, really.
Yeah, that was returning to the net. Should be needed to do better with those ones. Because
yeah, I think that's fair as well, Dave. Definitely. Especially also with the toss of Qinwen, she can sometimes struggle to just even get that in. And unfortunately, that tends to hit you at the biggest points. But I mean, so did Rybakina.
yeah, it's an odd toss, isn't it? With Zheng has it. It's just funny how certain players have their own little movements that you think it almost looks more difficult to do it that way, but yeah, that's the way she serves, and
she learned from Federico Derbonis. Although actually knowing Qinwen, she would have no idea who Federico Derbonis is. I mean, she didn't know Kuchikova. Maybe they can play in the semis here, and just get familiar with each other. Although I think they already played at least once. So. Now, okay, Dave was just asking sup, which means what's up. It's like the short version of what's up. Yeah, I kind of wanted to see who wins a long rally like this, and it's Rybakina proving a bit superior of the timing here. Things are looking a bit better for her, but I'm not gonna say that much more since, well, in that match against Paolini, I think there were also, well, I think she was 2-4 down, and then she broke back, and at like 5-all she had break points, at 4-all she had break points, and it just seemed like if she takes the first set, she's gonna cruise to the win probably. So definitely not getting too ahead of myself here because of that match, but now it's kind of looking more like what I expected, like what this matchup looked like in the past as well. And yeah, these second serves, I mean, the second serve returns you mentioned earlier, I think this one right here is a
Not good
crime.
enough.
So she's gonna have to do better on this, and also very big contrast with like how Rybakina has been returning the second serve and Qinwen as well. We had that comparison in terms of the stat of like where they were standing on first serve return, but I think even on the second serve return, it's a major difference. Qinwen was not even like trying to attack that, right? Just get the ball in.
Yeah, that's a fair comment, I think, from Super Dave. It's one of the most difficult motions in sport is to serve. Yeah.
Yeah, I think for most players, like they might have some technical deficiencies on their forehands or their backhands, but like for the most part, when they're maybe like 30 years old or I don't know, just developed as a player, like there's not much you can really improve with these shots. Whereas with the serve, you can always find something. There are just so many intricacies to it that, yeah, even at a very advanced stage of your career, there's always more untapped potential in your serve, really. Of course, at the amateur level, there's pretty much no one who can serve well, and that also is because of that. Yeah, it's just way too tough, and no one really cares as well. Like imagine just being a very like casual player. You want to play matches. You don't want to hit 100 balls and just keep serving. It's boring. So, well, for pros in a way, that also has an impact. I mean, I'm pretty sure they just don't. I mean, most of them at least, they don't like serve practices all that much. They'd rather just hit balls. Um, Tough to say, Keen. I think that Juric is someone we don't really know much about. Recently, he had a horrible ITF losing streak, so maybe because of that. Tirante, of course, yeah, he struggled against Maximovic or whatever his name was. He struggled in Sweden against whoever again that wild card was in the qualifying. So I don't think it was a massive upset, but still, given the Juric records just before the event, I guess I still wasn't expecting that. But yeah, I mean, you are pretty fortunate if you can qualify into an ATP 250 beating Tirante and Pavlovic on indoor hard courts. Yes. I'm actually not sure because I think Juric is playing right now, but I haven't checked how he was doing against Kova. But that would be okay. Yeah, it was 6-2, 6-2 Kovacevic, which I guess kind of tells you everything you need to know. Well, more missed returns from Rybakina now as Qinwen holds.
Good hold, and
we should get a pretty close finish to this set. Should be quite exciting. Of course, Paolini Rybakina, it went to a tiebreak, and that tiebreak was a big mess from Rybakina in the opener. I think she was like 1-5 down at some point, and the only point she won was via a net cord. So yeah, her game like really fell apart in that breaker, and it completely shifted the match. So well, of course, she will be hoping to avoid that here. Might be more stock as well into what you said about like not being in these pressure situations and playing her first tiebreak in forever.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a factor, but yeah, I mean, it's interesting because although that's the case, for Zheng to win this would be massive for her. Personally, she's probably thinking, I've never beat her, and also just having come off losing to Sabalenka for the 5th time. Yeah, and obviously getting the win here is she pretty much needs it, right, to get through. So from the point of view of Rybakina, yeah, of course, she wants to win, but you know, it's not as well. I mean, she's obviously had big titles as well. You know, won slams. So
By the way, Rinderknecht already pulled out of Mets, so yes, players who lost in the opening round of qualifying will be getting in now. And that, in fact, is Tio Papamalamis. So I think in about 3 hours, they lost 4 main draw players there. But yeah, that's unfortunate for the event, but it is what it is in these last weeks of the season, especially when the ATP finals is already, the field is, I mean, not already set, but the players that are playing, like Dimitrov and everybody. Well, Dimitrov is still in the event, but like Rune, Humbert, they don't really want to keep playing anymore. All right.
looks like we might be going to a tie break just the way this is playing out, but they seem to have settled into it, and yeah, love hold from Rybakina. So pressure back on Zheng though to it's quite a short second serve from Zheng, but she gets it in. We've got an extended rally, but that was a nice forehand up the line from Zheng. Not something we've seen too much, and I mean
Yeah, the rhythm of this match is
good.
definitely like a bit more patchy. We're not really seeing points like this on a regular basis, but
Yeah.
that shows you what she can do, and she has that time on the ball and still takes it pretty early. And well, she can do it.
Yeah.
Very good second serve as well, really making Rybakina struggle here. I think the moment Elena hit that return, she just knew that the point is gone.
Yeah, King, I think we've both seen Yi Zhao a lot, actually. He's had many wild cards, hasn't he? And some good performances, but not quite getting over the line. But he's also doing okay now in the. I think he just qualified for Matsuyama, right?
Yeah, he beat Liam Brody today and is going to play Yosuke Watanuki in a popcorn round 1 clash.
Wow, yeah.
I definitely would agree about his top 100 ability. I mean, he's still like raw as hell, but you can see that he's capable of hanging against a lot of quality players. Of course, he had these main tour wildcards and was doing perfectly fine. If not for some, just inexperience at this level, he probably beats Manarino. He probably beats Kotov as well. And I would just like to see him maybe like push himself a bit more next year with the scheduling, because this year he's pretty much just spent in China, Japan, India, and I mean it's a way of progressing for sure, but I would just like to see him playing more on the Challenger Tour and different settings as well. Because it just doesn't feel like his game has really improved all that much in a year. I think he's he's still super talented, but just as raw as he was. But yeah, that's really not something that he'll be, of course, taking care of this month. This month is just more Japanese appearances. But good to see him qualify, because I think last week he also qualified, but he saved the match point against some random player and then lost to Escoffier, and I was a little disappointed. Juva Tanuki should be very good to watch for sure.
Yeah, big test to Watanuki. I know that also Rei Sakamoto got a wild card there. I think he has to play. He's got a pretty tough one as well to open. Forget who it is now. And that goes long from Rybakina, we're 40-30 hold. Yeah, so
Have I ever been called a Karen before by somebody? Nah, I don't think so. I mean, it's a phrase that has sort of like transpired to the Polish language already as well. There are people who say this. I think there's like a Polish equivalent, although I'm not sure what it is. There is a name that we say instead of Karen, but I don't remember what it is. But I don't think I've ever been called that. No.
I mean, why would they be calling you Karen?
I don't know. It's a Nurlan question. I mean, you respond to it and you move on. But I appreciate the change-ups. Basilashvili, yeah, definitely one of the craziest ones. And he should be in Australian Open qualifying now, I think. I mean, maybe he's like right on the verge. Maybe he could use like one more win. He, in fact, is also in a very interesting round one against Matsuyama, against Mattia Bellucci, who will be trying to chase down that top 100 debut finally.
Yeah,
in the Japanese
tough
swing,
opener to get there, but I mean, obviously nice for him to get in because he was it was special exempt that he got in, right, from
yeah, he got a special
and
exempt.
then
Yeah, he's pretty much like for every event he's just in the qualifying. So yeah.
But I mean, I talked to him after that match. I mean, he was quite dominant once he got into it.
Oh, yeah, I saw it. He posted on Twitter. Yeah.
But he he didn't think that. He said I didn't play well. He's like I just served, concentrated on my serve and made fewer unforced errors. Yeah, he was like he still has very high expectations, I think, of himself, but he said that I have no confidence now.
Was that regarding the whole week or just the?
He's talking in general that he has no confidence right now. He plays with no confidence, so he feels like tight all the time. But of course, he can still absolutely hit the ball like extremely well. But yeah, I mean, he's always been kind of like, how do you say, like he always just went for it, and sometimes you have moments where he's missing a lot, but.
Yeah, I think from 2-5 in the final, he was pretty incredible.
Yeah.
And, just seems to come and go, but that was always the case. I guess he was just doing it at a much higher level, but he was never really a stable player. 3 ATP 500 titles, though, that's a pretty insane achievement.
Yeah, and Taro, I think, probably just a bit too tired to deal with that, but yeah, I mean, it was
tired and also just not the most imposing game in general. So there's not much he can do when Basilashvili starts firing.
Yeah, and that was actually interesting to hear Taro talk about how he's been trying to be more imposing the last couple of years, just because of the way the game's changed. But it looks like we're going to go to tiebreak here.
He really developed his serve. I remember talking. Yeah, looks like it. I mean, Qinwen really has to like clean up these second serve returns. 15 all here. Another horrible error. I mean, of course, it's okay to miss a second serve return if you're trying to be aggressive. It's not okay to miss it if you're just getting the ball in. And looks like that will eventually lead us to a tiebreak. I mean, that first fixture for Rybakina against Paolini, there's really a lot in common here so far in terms of how the set has transpired. So I guess we'll have to see if she also starts just missing every ball in the breaker. And that's another second serve return Zheng misses. I guess this one had a lot of good kick on it, but that's still a very slow second serve. Yeah, it is the tiebreak. 50 minutes of play. Definitely a fair way of deciding who gets to win this set, as I don't think there's been a better player.
Well, in a tiebreak, well, interestingly, with stats there, Rybakina has won a few more, or sorry, lost a few more tiebreaks, but it was 1-6, lost 8, but Zheng is 6-6, so. But I would say in a tiebreak, you'd probably favor Rybakina right now.
Yeah, on a general level, yes. I mean, tie breaks on the WTA tour, I guess they're much less frequent, right? So the samples aren't gonna be that big. But yeah, Rybakina being 6-8 in tie breaks this year is a little striking.
Oh, that was a good
It's an awesome
sliding
shot
backhand.
in the mini break.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally turned the point around, even though Rybakina seemed to be pretty comfortable and on the attack.
Yeah, and she looked very determined as she did that there. Wow.
Yeah, that actually is still going like Paolini Rybakina yesterday. I think that first point of the tiebreak was a mini break for Rybakina when she hit a net cord. And then after that, just it was over.
Yeah. But it'll have to be a second serve for Zheng. Oh, she hesitates. It goes out there, turns out. So
yeah, retossing, and well, she ended up winning the point. Ooh, do you see that? That's I mean, not challenge, but the representation of where the ball landed.
yeah, it was just out, right?
It wouldn't really fit anything in there.
I mean, I think it's the right
Yeah.
thing. Just go hard down the middle, but like it's, yeah, got to get ahead.
Yeah, I think there was a stream recently when there was some talk about this, and the comments in the chat as well about just going down the middle of a lot of your returns, which obviously, yeah, it's a great strategy. And here she just missed it by a tiny bit. Gets the next one in, but this time it's not as obvious that she's gonna be winning the point.
Oh. Again, that was.
Rybakina is complaining about that one ball that was like barely on the line, but yeah, I mean, it definitely landed in, so. Looking a bit heavy-footed once more, once she was stretched just a bit to the forehand side, but that's already enough to get an error from her. And just 1-4 down now.
Good serve.
I wonder
Yeah.
if you're Rybakina, like what were her expectations going into this event? You know, like she probably was. I mean, she's well aware of how she was practicing and like whether it was going good or not. So that probably also impacted it. But I just wonder if she was just, I don't know, just coming in to play, wrap up the season, or if she was like hoping for something huge, which of course is still possible, but it's just looking very tough right now. Zheng apparently going a lot at the T on the outside.
On the outside, yeah.
Yeah, I guess that's one of these forehands where like she's just really trying to unload on it and add a lot of spin, which wasn't really possible from the ball that she got from Rybakina. So the Kazakh survives for now. There's just still one more mini break for Zheng.
Yeah. I think she'd be desperate for a first serve here.
Kind of a random question, but is Rybakina the first? Is Rybakina the first player from Kazakhstan who played the WTA finals? I mean, representing Kazakhstan is maybe more of a stretch, or I mean, the right way to call it. I guess she would be. Who else? Yeah, there's no one else really. Anyway, not important right now, as Zheng is 5-3 up.
Yeah, first serve? Nope. It's Oh,
Yeah, missing
Rybakina.
that second serve return, Rybakina. I will give some credit to Zheng though. I will give some credit to Zheng. It was a very good kick.
Yeah, there was
I think she
yeah,
wasn't
quite a bit
expecting
on it.
that. I think usually the second serve of Qinwen is a bit more bland than this. It just wasn't easy for Rybakina to hit it like super flat as usual. So there is definitely something positive to say about this second serve for Qinwen, and she gets 3 set points for it.
Oh, is that
Yeah, now there's
that forehand again.
more of that forehand error, which I feel like, yeah,
You can almost see
it's
it
like
going long before
50%
she
of
hits
her
it.
error.
Yeah.
Yeah, even when she's lining up for it, I mean, it's just
Yeah,
no
it's
ball
like
when
that's
you
gonna
can
go
do
long.
that.
Of course.
It's probably like half her forehand errors, exactly this type of shot. Which would work on clay. Like on clay, she makes this shot.
Hmm. Oh, just long and that's
Well, this time the heaviness of that Qinwen forehand, getting it on the line, was actually quite crucial. 7-4 in the tiebreak
yeah.
for the Chinese,
You can
as
see
Rybakina, second match in a row, loses the opening set tiebreak.
quite a few empty seats there, but still some support there. But like, yeah, a bit of a patchy first set. Let's be honest, it's not been a classic, and neither player been particularly, on top. But yeah, I mean, I think there were some moments earlier, maybe. We were talking about the returns as well in that second serve earlier on in the set that maybe Rybakina would like to have made. I mean, but and she's going off court now. Not too surprising, but
Oh, was just responding to a phone call, and obviously it was just spam.
do you get a lot of those now
Well, yes, Dave. Yeah.
Do you get a lot of spam
Come
calls in Poland?
I don't feel like generally you do, but I get them because like I had to start my own company and my phone
Oh.
number is somewhere listed.
Ah.
So I actually do. It's okay right now. Like it's like maybe one per day max. But right after I started the thing, it was just endless. But you know, I just hear it's spam and I just click the red whatever red button or whatever right away. So it's not a big deal.
Yeah, I get a lot of just. I think they're calls trying to people sell me stuff. That's what it is, but and it's really annoying. But yeah, obviously Zheng here. I mean, I think it's the first set she's won against Rybakina, right? I mean, they've only played twice before, but pretty sure those both were straight sets wins for Rybakina. So, and they both came up. Yeah, the last one was last year, wasn't it? So it's been a while, and obviously
Wimbledon maybe, and then what's the
yeah.
other one?
And the one before was I don't remember. I think it was in hard court. I can't remember where. But
check that. I was checking like head to head yesterday, but I don't remember now. But I think maybe one of them could have been 3 sets. I don't know.
Oh, I think the other one was actually quite a big win, lopsided in favor of Rybakina, but just off the top of my head.
Yeah, I don't remember that too well either, to be honest.
But it was a while. I think
know,
it was 2022.
7-6, 7-5 at Wimbledon, yeah, and then Beijing last year was 6-1, 6-2. Yes, that was
Oh, it was last year.
And then 2023 Beijing, it was 6-1, 6-2 Rybakina. Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
So that's.
Yeah, that was crazy because they met in the first round. I remember it now because they met in the first round of Beijing, which was an insane draw at the time. Rybakina being the 5th seed and Zheng at the time still being unseeded, but well, not for long.
Yeah, a lot changed for Zheng since then, even. So yeah, for Zheng though, I feel like, you know, if she does get through, I mean, if she does get through this, and she does get through to the second round, I mean, it's still sort of hard to see past Sabalenka at the end of the day, as far as I can see. But who would she, yeah, I mean, we don't really know it yet, who she would play next if she finished second in the group, but I'm trying to get remind myself of the placings. Okay.
I mean, we don't really know much, right? I mean,
yeah, it's only played once.
Right, she would play the player who tops the group, which we might learn tomorrow, really, because Świątek and Goff, that second fixture will probably decide who wins the group, or at least get someone really close to it. But yeah, I mean, at this point in time, of course, we can't really be sure.
Yeah, it's a bit more open there than the purple group, but we'll see if this break has it done good for Rybakina. Can she regroup? I mean, you could say she has kept it close without having, you know, been at her best. So perhaps she can level up a bit here.
Yeah, from 1-4, I mean, she definitely did. She was the better player from 1-4 until the tiebreak. Just once again wasn't able to deliver in that last part of the opening set. But yeah, now just needs to avoid what happened against Paolini, which in which case the momentum kinda did shift a lot around that time, and Paolini was like much more aggressive in the second set. Once she got the break, she never really was close to letting it go, and yeah, of course, it's a very similar situation here. Rybakina was also serving first there, and maybe she's playing a tiny bit better off the ground here than in that match, but it's also a very different matchup, obviously.
Wow, that was a forehand going long, but Zheng keeping the pace up there, though.
Yeah, the latter stages of the opening set, I feel like most of these rallies were won by Rybakina. She was the one eventually finding a way to win a timing battle like this. Not this time, but she lands this serve down the tee, which must have been like barely on the line. One match that I have not that I didn't see so far this WTA finals was Goff playing Pegula yesterday, but from what I heard, that was a bit of a beatdown even, which I don't think many of us expected. So it adds a bit of intrigue to the Świątek Goff clash tomorrow.
Yeah, and I would have possibly thought that, well, before that, Pegula might have been the best challenger to Iga in that group, but let's see.
Well, Rybakina takes the first game. Yeah, I think that Pegula, Krejcikova, Goff, it seemed like a pretty even group in many ways. Goff, of course, having that horrible record against Iga. Jessie much better, especially when it's playing fast. Krejcikova also a good record against Iga, but of course some other concerns for her own. So to me, it kind of looked like all is pretty similar. But in this case, I mean, yeah, beating Pegula is massive for Goff. The stats of the opening set, winners and unforced errors, of course, as usual on the WTA, look pretty scary, but I don't know. Their statisticians sometimes are a bit weird. Like against Paolini in the opening set, Rybakina, I think, lost 48 points, and 36 of them were counted as unforced errors. Which I think was probably a bit of a stretch, but then again, I mean, she definitely hit like 25 at least, so maybe not by that much. But yeah, these stats, of course, also weren't too pleasant for the players. 822 for one of them, 719 for the other.
And of course, if anyone other than Iga wins the WTA finals this year, it will be the I think it would be the 9th year in a row that we've had a different winner, right? So yeah, if Iga was actually to back up and win it again, you know, it would be the first time in like 10 years that someone's done that. WTA finals.
Yeah, right, because Sabalenka didn't win it in 22, right? She lost in the final. Sometimes because she beat Iga in the semis there, I'm like, well, didn't she win the title? But no, it was, of course, Caroline Garcia.
Yeah. Yeah. But it, you know, feels like Sabalenka is perhaps, you know, she's the favorite, but yeah, doesn't always go to plan.
So just looking at sort of the way that they've been, well, the serve stats basically. So Qinwen is at 57% of first serve points won. I mean, first serves in, which is already higher than her average, and she's also winning a lot of the first serves that she actually makes. So that's not bad. And despite some of that very aggressive returning from Rybakina, she actually still managed to win 50% of her second serve points. So
Mm.
that's I was expecting a lower number there, definitely, with 3 double faults as well. Of course, it was still a very tight set, but shows that besides a couple of games, there wasn't actually all that much pressure on the Qinwen serve, and she's once again moving very, very well here.
Yeah,
On
that was
this
nice
side.
at the corner. Yeah, and she's, if that stat is right, she's around 60% first serves in, which is good for her. So if she keeps that up, then yeah, she's got a great chance.
I think against Arena, for the most part, she was like below 50%. Maybe got it right above 50% at the end, but
Mm.
was certainly a bit of an issue, especially if you consider how much of a contrast it was between her getting the first serve in and the second.
Yeah.
Well, of course, the much bigger issue was just the fact that I think Arena won like 95% of her first serve points or something like that. But it was a pretty crazy performance. Of course, you kind of expect her to deliver again today against Paulini.
Just seen Dave asking about the 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 shoes that we wear on court and off court. um,
Yeah, I don't know. I think for me on court it's just like random brands really. Mostly I use the same shoes for tennis, running, and for table tennis I usually use the same shoes. I actually have to buy myself a pair, so I don't know what will be. Off court I have this like favorite one design of Adidas shoes which I've already bought in red, I've bought it in black, and I think in gray. And I will actually also have to buy some new like just everyday shoes, so maybe I will now go for another color.
yeah, for off court, I'm wearing black Nike Air Max things because they're very comfortable, and being black, they don't look dirty ever. So yeah, but I think my tennis shoes are Adidas, but it's just I haven't played tennis for a while. It's really hard to get a court here, and I've just been busy as well. But it like right here in the city, it's super difficult to actually book a court because it's just everyone's playing all the time, especially now. Like the weather's not bad here in the autumn.
Okay. Good to hear that there's that sort of well, I mean, not good for you, I guess, but
Yeah.
much interest in tennis.
Yeah, but it's a it's a big city here, so a lot of people, and then maybe not quite enough tennis courts for the middle of Seoul, but yeah, that was the thing. It was a bit disappointing when I was at the Seoul Challenger because I felt like I mean, I don't know if it's the timing of it, but I think there just wasn't as much promotion, so the turnout wasn't so good. Like as last year, there's quite a lot of people at the Seoul Challenger, especially at the final day. We had Taro Daniel against Specialist, really quite a good match on paper, but not too many people.
Yeah, should bring some people in, yeah, especially Basiashvili. Still a
Yeah,
relatively big name.
I think I'm not sure that they pushed that enough. You know what that he's a former top 16. I mean, if I was at the tournament doing the promotion, I would be pushing that, but there we go. So Yeah, starts off with the first serve. Unreturned.
Yeah, this set is definitely even more about quality serving so far from both than the opener. Of course, we've only had one break each thus far. Getting a lot more tie breaks for sure as well this event. I mean, this is the second one only, I guess, but we will be getting more tie breaks than usual on the WTA Tour given the conditions. Indoor tennis is just such a small part of the WTA calendar right now as a whole that it does feel like a breath of fresh air.
I do find the WTA calendar at this point a little bit strange in the sense that, you know, you have the two Masters at the Asian swing, and then it's just a bunch of small events, and then the WTA finals. Whereas it would seem more logical to like have them spread out a little bit, the Masters events, but I don't know.
There's also the WTA 215 Merida that just took place, which, you know, the top seed was like 62 or something like that. And it's a bit of a random event, not necessarily out of nowhere, given maybe there was something to kind of build upon it in the calendar of the WTA 1 to 5 series or the huge ITFs, but still, it just feels like it's all a bit inconsequential well,
yeah.
Even on the ATP, people are complaining this week about Mets and Belgrade and how they really shouldn't be there, which also is probably true. I mean, they just needed to put these events somewhere. And, well, in a way, if there's going to be that tight race for the last ATP finals spots, these events will actually get a lot of attention. But yeah, maybe it wasn't just the best format when Paris was ending, and then you have next gen finals and then ATP finals. Because obviously you want to give the players who have made the ATP finals a week for rest, and then in that spot you can have the next gen finals. After that, the ATP. Seems like that was a good system, but of course they have taken it a very different direction with the next gen finals right now.
Yeah. Yeah, Taro Daniel had a lot of comments about this, the tournament, the tour structure in general. But I think as well, I mean, we could sort of say what would be better or seem more logical and all that. But there's always considerations. Like, I mean, when Saudi Arabia comes in, they're offering a lot of money. They say put these tournaments here, or you know, or other countries as well. And then there's just practical considerations as well. I'm sure it's not always that simple as just being able to do whatever tournament you want when, but yeah. But sometimes I do wish it was a bit more structured, you know. It gets a little bit chaotic at times. I could serve it wide from Rybakina.
Your fifth ace of the match. Not too high, but I mean, both of them are still getting a lot of work done with the first serves, so. Oh, that's an interesting innovation from her as well. Seeing that ball, I was just thinking, okay, she's definitely going to hit the backhand line, and she comes in with this drop shot that wasn't even that short, but it was like, yeah, just played in a very good moment.
Oh, it's a good return there from.
Yeah, maybe starting
Zheng.
to take some benefits from that returning strategy. And she gets that heavy ball in at Rybakina's feet. I guess that's also what she did on the set point in the opener.
Should get another look at a second serve. Oh.
Yeah, really nice. Finds the line with the backhand return, and after that, Rybakina is just done.
Yeah, that was right on the line, wasn't it? That return.
Yeah. Two great returns from 1540, and suddenly we have a game on our hands.
And another second serve. Oh.
It really feels like that return strategy from Qinwen is like paying off here in this
Yeah.
game. Last 3 points. I mean, this one maybe was the worst of them, but it wasn't bad at all. In fact, she still had so much time to run around her backhand. Get away from that middle ball too.
Yeah, finally.
Um,
Good serve.
Rybakina saves the break point. I was close, but probably out, and it's gonna be more chances.
Yeah, I thought that might have caught the line, but just drifted wide, and another chance here for Zheng. And yeah, it feels like Rybakina really needs the first serve again.
She won't get it.
Oh.
And unlike Rybakina, again, Zheng is even moving even further backwards on the second serve. So will it be like a great... Yeah, well, it's a decent return. She's in the point. She's got Rybakina stretching for that right-hand corner, and it's gonna be the game and the break for Qinwen. Really
well
on
done.
the highway to the win now. Just 3 more holds.
Yeah, she looked determined to take that point, and she did stretch Rybakina there.
It's an interesting game in terms of that. Yeah, most of the match we were complaining about some of these second serve returns that Qinwen was missing, and just the contrast between Rybakina stepping in, taking them more aggressively, Qinwen falling even further backwards maybe on the second serve return. But this is the game where it really paid off. This is the game where she showed this is what I was hoping for. And yeah, from 40-15 for Rybakina, she hit a couple of great ones, and we have the Saturday break advantage. So this match is really like a mirror image of Paulini Rybakina so far.
Yeah.
Can be the exact same scoreline if we just get holds from here.
But yeah, so if Zheng wins this, then it will be a big match between her and Paulini, essentially playing for second spot. And interesting one. Paulini, of course, is friend of the show, right? Friend of the show.
Oh yeah, Jasmine. Is she the only friend of the show in the WTA finals field? I guess so.
Yeah, probably. I mean, unless is there anyone among the doubles list, but I don't know.
Sorry, what?
I was just wondering if there's anyone from the doubles as well. Obviously.
Anyone from the doubles? Ooh, I wasn't thinking about that, but that's possible. Yes. Well, Zeynep Sonmez, friend of the show, won Merida last night.
Oh, so even including doubles, yeah, Paulini is the only one. Okay.
But here, I guess, yeah, even including doubles, was there an No, I don't think there was an Ostapenko talking tennis content thing. Probably not.
There is an
That
interview
would
with
have been
her.
fun, though.
There is an interview with
There
her,
is
and I
an
think it's
interview. Okay, yeah.
yeah, from about Madrid last year, and it's a good one. But
Yeah,
yeah,
that's what I was thinking of. That's what I was thinking of. I mean, yeah, it's not enough to earn friend of the show status, but
yeah.
But I was thinking that I think there was an Ostapenko Madrid one, the same like with Pavlyuchenkova and like Avanesian and stuff.
I'm just about to type this, but it'll be a lot easier if I just write it. I was about to say that Laura Siegmund has been demoted from the friend of the show level, but she hasn't made the WTA finals either as a doubles player. I'm sure I know which she's more disappointed by the way.
I still don't know why she was demoted, but yeah, she hasn't made the WTA finals.
She's been demoted out of spite. I think I tagged on Instagram like 3 times, and she never. On Instagram, the equivalent of retweet would be to sort of accept the post or repost it. And there's also another reason is there's only so many. I can't have half the tour as friends of the show. You know, I think 10 is a good number.
So basically, there are like limited spots, and you have to take someone out in order to get someone in. Okay.
It's
I mean,
like
Gian
a
Faria recently got that honor, and he definitely deserves it more than Laura Siegmund. And Jasmine, as Wookie says, is a friend to everyone in the world. Yeah, indeed, she seems very pleasant. She was at the Warsaw event at least once. I think it was on clay, so in 2022, and she was very cool to talk to there as well. Well, Rybakina trying to get something going here. It's a big point to get us to 30 all.
Yeah, pretty nicely done.
Okay, and we actually have a break chance right back. Rybakina getting a deep, nice return in. Zheng trying to hit another one of these sliding backhands, but not quite there this time. Maybe this script that I mentioned, this being very similar to Rybakina Paolini, maybe it's about to take a turn that previous encounter didn't. Ooh, that's very similar to one of these serve aces out wide she hit on a breakpoint in the first set, but this one isn't in. Or maybe it was like 15-30. Yeah, I think maybe it was 15-30.
It's going to be interesting. This. It's in. That was a good return. And
yeah,
there we go.
When that ball there was like sitting up, I think everybody in the arena just knew it was going to happen. Just so much like timing advantage that Rybakina has there. She can do anything with the ball. Choose it well, and she's back to 3 games all.
Just going to have to refresh my stream here. Hang on. I've just seen Zheng get love 30 there.
Yep, great forehand line here. know that Dave was saying earlier that maybe she's taking a bit too much risk on these balls, but I think this one pretty safely done. Still lots of margin. Was able to pull off her usual
Wow.
technique despite the court 134 kilometers an hour on it too. Rybakina just surviving this point.
The Helsinki challenge is on now.
What about the Helsinki Challenger?
Yeah, I was just checking what's on, right now, but
yeah, they should be starting their main draw pretty soon. I think it's still the end of the qualifying now. Fonseca Chorich, the big match tomorrow.
wow. So we've got 2 break points here. I think there's one main draw match started, but just saw that Abdullah Shelby has got in by walkover.
That's qualifying though, right?
Sorry, that's no, it's
Yeah,
Fernley's
was
playing.
supposed to play Vesely, right? So I guess Vesely must have withdrawn. Oh yeah, Fernley against Royer, they already started. Fernley, of course, getting his second challenger loss of the season last week in Bratislava against Dino Prismic. Now at a very poor 25-2 win-loss record. Anyway, huge serve from Rybakina to save one of the break points.
Oh, what a serve!
Oh yeah, that's you're not gonna get that. This has both the power, the angle, the spin. It's an ace against everybody on the planet. So 2 massive serves for her here.
Oh.
Yeah, Qinwen had a shot in this point definitely after that serve, after that return.
Another one of those forehands going long in the end.
Usually when Rybakina is like playing a squash shot like this, like she's been losing 90% of these points. Here she's able to survive somehow.
No way.
I think that's in, right?
Yeah.
Another very spinny, clayish forehand winner from Zheng.
Yeah, it's a good shot. I mean, but also
Rybakina expecting it to go out, I suppose, based on her reaction. It is one of these shots where, like, you see Qinwen line up for it, and it's often gonna be out. But
good serve again.
Ooh, yeah. He's getting some insane wide serves the last 2-3 games, and it's keeping her alive.
Wow.
Everybody finding lines here in one of the best rallies of the match. Eventually, the last line goes to Rybakina. That was a tough hold.
Yeah, just that last shot, just a deep one down the middle, but putting Zheng on the back foot, and it went wide from her. So seems the intensity is upping right now. I feel like that was a good game though for Rybakina.
The 5th line someone found in this point, I think. Earlier, Qinwen had a couple of these shots that were like really looping and barely made it. Rybakina, the wide forehand earlier. eventually she wins this pretty crazy point.
ATP Mets, you got Shevchenko and Struff in a third set.
Yeah, and Shevchenko was 6-3-3-0, I think.
Oh, wow. Well, it's still on serve in that final set, so. And yeah, I mean, at this stage, it just doesn't feel too important. But yeah, everyone's just trying to, I'll say everyone, there's certain players trying to secure Australian Open, but not everyone.
I just saw that there's a photo basically from yesterday's stream with Jack that John posted. Which of these 5 is not making the ATP finals? And in that photo, there's Rud, Deminor, Rublev, Jack, and me. And he says that there are varying levels of anxiety shown in their faces. And I was just laughing at Jack there because, yeah, he really seems very anxious. Like he's about to, something tragic is about to happen to him. Myself, I'm like more contemplating, I guess, or something like that. But yeah, so it's definitely a funny one of Jack. Average return speeds.
Wow,
Zheng
big from
a lot
Zheng.
more. Yeah, but I think it also because of where she's standing, right? She's got more time to wind up. Rybakina trying to more like intercept the ball early and take time away, whereas Zheng has to like go heavy at it. But still a big difference. I would have expected it to be a bit smaller.
Yeah, I think especially as the match has gone on, Zheng's been getting, up in the speeds on those returns.
Yeah. And also what they count there is the landed returns. So like the ones that she was missing earlier. Even when she was
Right.
going to Rubik, they actually wouldn't be included. However, this is certainly a massive second serve return from Rybakina, regardless if it's high on speed or yeah, if it's just taken early. And it's low 30 now, as she's really close to producing a big turnaround from 2-5 breakdown. 2-3, of course, not 2-5. We'll need to get some of these in. It's just a strong serve from Qinwen, not necessarily big on the placement, but just fast. It's just deep.
Oh, I'm pretty big there down the middle on the second serve, but it's out and she'll face 2 break points and then almost.
Definitely varying levels of anxiety in the Qinwen Zheng box now. When they showed all of them to us. I think Pereriba was among one of the more anxious people there.
Yeah, but that was a
She
great
says,
serve there.
Yeah, she says, "Don't worry." She's like, "Yeah, I'm fine."
She's gonna just copy Rybakina from earlier.
Exactly, yeah, from the previous game. Now she has to hit an insane serve out wide in order to do it. But I think she'll also take one tee, and it's the outside where she's very often going
Oh,
tee.
it's in, but decent return, and that's enough for Rybakina to take the break. So
Yeah, you can see why the Rybakina returns are slower because like she doesn't have time to drive through the ball. She's just trying to pick it up really, and this time it was good enough. It was deep enough to make Qinwen miss. So suddenly she's gonna serve for the second set, and this is definitely now very different to how the Paolini Rybakina match went. We stayed away from that script, and I don't think we're getting back there. I'm just laughing. The fourth option is promising, John. I don't know if you want me to tell you in the WhatsApp or do you want me to reply here. But table tennis will be a bit of an issue tomorrow with some of these. But I guess I will reply in the WhatsApp.
Oh yeah.
Well, looks like while I was busy responding to the messages, Rybakina just claimed the first 2 points and the third point as well. Zheng trying
Yeah,
to
this
block
is
it back.
surely it. We're going to a third. And it's intriguing, to be honest. I mean,
Can she take it already? Yes. So we are going free. I mean, just as we were like praising the quality of Qinwen's return going up, Rybakina did pretty much the same from 2-3 down. Of course, in a different manner, still kind of sticking to her guns, sticking to her original strategy, but she's there. It is not that much that she changed up. I don't think so. She just kind of started landing more shots, and she's in the first set. Sometimes tennis is that easy, but of course it's not that easy if you've been away from the game for a while. Are we gonna get another toilet / whatever break? Seems like it. She's leaving the court.
yeah, and of course at
And Qinwen is as
one
well.
point it looked like Zheng might have got the break in that second set, and some great serving kept Rybakina in it, and then she went on to break. So, and of course she's broken Zheng twice in this match. Zheng just having the one break in that first set. Yeah, it's time. Yeah, Zheng needs to take a break to recharge and regroup. And I think I will do the same as we wait for this final set.
Go for it. Yeah, John is really going all Nurlan in the chat. How can you lose a set from a set in 3-0? You wouldn't see that on the WTA tour. Now you also have to throw in something about Iga and how she's never gonna win any matches again. That's what Nurlan does after all.
I can respond to that. He was just perfect yesterday. He was so on brand. He was basically just saying her return is trash. Her forehand has fallen off a cliff. She's going to be 0-3 in the group stage. And he was there for like an hour of that match yesterday. And just like Barbie K, he sort of went away as he started to come back. And you never heard any more from him. In fact, he's not been seen or heard of since.
Yeah, he does that a lot. Like he makes a prediction, and the moment it stops going in, he's out of there. Why do we think that Zheng fell off in the second set? I don't know if there was anything like particularly specific, right? I mean, she played a fantastic return game to get that lead, but after that, I don't know. Her serving was still okay. I think she was landing the first serves. Rybakina, I guess, outplayed her on a few points. Once again, just getting more of her range back. Tough to say if there was like anything specific, yeah. And this is a weird comment to me, Dave. Are you really like? Is it really something you are in favor of? Yeah, I mean, 10 minutes is just far too long, I think. I mean, generally speaking, Rybakina is a slightly better server, but was Qinwen serving horribly in these last two games? She hit the double faults to go 15-30 down, but that's partially due to the pressure that Elena is like, you know, imposing on her, and trying to take these returns early and everything. I don't know. The last breakpoint, the one at 4-3, I think, was a great return from Rybakina, but it's not like there was anything wrong with the Qinwen serve. She saved the first breakpoint with an amazing one out wide. I don't know. I think it's just variance really that wasn't impacted by any major change in the ground strokes. What are your thoughts on the Ugo Umber Cinderella story that almost was?
Yeah, I forgot that it was Zheng had the two. Yeah, it was the two breaks, right? She had break in this set as well. So yeah, and 3 for Rybakina. So yeah, the stats.
Valorant Nerd is asking for your take on the Ugo Umber Cinderella story that almost was, as in winning Paris.
I mean, Rybakina sort of settled into it. I mean, she's stats now slightly favouring her, although Zheng has won slightly more in terms of first serve points won. She hasn't been making as many first serves as Rybakina. And yeah, the differential in the second serve is fairly big in terms of points won. I think, yeah, Zheng really had the chance there in the second set to break, and it was the serve that got Rybakina out of it. I mean, it was pretty close there. So I think if you're Zheng, though, you're going to have to up the first serve percentage again, because that did actually fall away, I think, a bit. Oh no. Yeah, I'm not entirely sure with the.
Well, there was also this question to you from Valorant Nerd about your thoughts on the Ugo Umber Cinderella story. I'm trying for the third time.
Right, okay. What do you want me to? I mean, I actually ended up being a disappointing final, right? Well, I mean, I didn't actually see the final. Did you watched it? I'm assuming.
Yeah, I mean, Umber was just too dead after all these tough ordeals over the week.
Like the rest of the world. Yeah, I mean, it would have been quite something for him if he'd actually managed to pull it off, but he'll have other chances, perhaps. For Zverev, he got 7 Masters titles, which is quite a lot.
I think all the change up in the court speed of the Paris court, like it's like designed for Ugo Umber. Of course, it's not actually designed for Ugo Umber, but he will love this court for like his
Yeah.
entire career if it keeps playing like this. And if you're looking at guys like from outside the top 10 who can win a big title on a slick, fast surface, Humbert is right up there. So I'm actually not sure it would have been that much of a Cinderella story even. I mean, we've had Popyrin winning an ATP 1000 title this year. That's much bigger than Humbert potentially taking one. But of course, with the crowd atmosphere and everything, it would have been extra nice for him. Some controversial topics as well around that crowd atmosphere in the semis against Khachanov. But yeah, the final just never really got to be a match, and I don't think I was expecting it to be a match, to be honest, after all these tough matches that Hugo played along the way. Riyadh apparently is not cold right now, which Wookie checked for us, 29 degrees Celsius, I assume.
I think Brazy's talking about Coleman, not Calvin.
Coleman,
But he beat Zheng. Yeah, that was a good win. I saw a little bit of it, but a few tight moments going, I think, Coleman's way early in the first set, and then I mean, I think decent win, good start for him. He's got like a bit of pressure, I think, on himself because he wants to make next gen finals. He probably will make it anyway if some of these guys will pull out, but I think in Seoul he lost to Samrej, the Thai player, when he was up a set. I mean, he was quite upset about that, I could tell. Yeah.
Yeah, should have at least played Taro again in the quarters. I mean, if he loses there, it's fine, but
yeah.
Of course, we're already starting the third set. Zheng now 30 all. I'll very quickly respond to this question, I think. Brazy about Helsinki, Lima, Knoxville, Matsuyama. I think Matsuyama, like McDonald withdrew, Taro Daniel withdrew. So it's like if Bellucci gets through Basilashvili, I think he has a very good shot. I think Lima is pretty wild. Like you could maybe expect a Korea favorite or something like that there, but he was fine this week, almost beat Barrios Vera in the semis and maybe would have won then. I think Knoxville is also, again, just like a very even field. Lerner Tien, maybe just because once again he has a very good draw to the quarters, which keeps happening every single week, seemingly. But otherwise, I mean, Walton is showing up there as well, and he did play well in the States last year. Of course, a college player, maybe he can take advantage. I think there's a very strong first quarter there where you have a lot of favorites potentially. So like Passavaredi and then Walton included, Laya, Job, Colton Smith, and everything. And as for Helsinki, you're asking about Fernley. Sure, he is doing well so far against Valentin Royer. Obviously, he's been a beast on the Challenger circuit this year. There are a few other good favorites like Diallo and someone else. But Helsinki is just a really stacked draw. Virtanen will be a very important player there as well because I think his draw is pretty nice to the semis at least. And well, maybe Kukushkin in the quarters can be troublesome, but Otto at home should finally get a good run at some point. I don't think he's had his Helsinki run so far in his career, and this might be it.
And is every title that he's won been indoors?
Yes, on the Challenger Tour at least. I'm not sure about ITFs, but Challenger Tour, yes. Six indoor, six indoor titles, 6 indoor finals, all won.
It's pretty impressive. But
had a semi on grass. I'm pretty sure he had a semi on clay, but all finals were indoors.
Yeah, and you said Diallo there. I think he's one of the few players that beat Fernley, right?
He's actually one of the two that beat him on the Challenger Tour this year. Yes, Diallo crushed him in the semis in Chicago, was it, or Lexington? One of these events, and Lexington was won by Fonseca, so must have been Chicago, and also Prismic, of course, last week. Well, still deuce. There was a double fault at 40-30 from
Yeah, this
Qinwen.
is tight.
Ooh.
Oh, good shot there.
Yeah, that first one like barely got over the net. It allowed Rybakina to approach, but Zheng is able to save herself with the forehand line pass. Optimistic approach from Rybakina as well. Like she really wasn't covering all that much in terms of the angle there.
Wow. Big roar there from Qinwen as she gets the ace and holds, but John was saying this could get away from her, and possibly, but I think at this point in her career, I would put a little bit more faith in her maybe, but I don't think she's away from her just yet.
Certainly just massive to get through this opening game. We can see the stats from the second set now, a lot more even on the winners than first errors, but I mean, if you want some answers, definitely 10-7 for Rybakina. That's actually pretty strong compared to her first set charts or whatever. Of course, still, what's more important is that she ran away with 4 games in a row from 2-3 down and broke twice in that stretch. Now Zheng, of course, has stopped the bleeding after the break. And here we go. Rybakina's first service game of the third set. Ooh, yeah, that's a messed up +1 backhand. Well, the third set record of Qinwen Zheng in 2024 sure is impressive. 19-4. I guess one of these losses recently was the Sabalenka Wuhan final, but still 19-4. Not that Rybakina's was anything to like sniff at. I mean, 13-5. The way I look at it, I mean, if you're going free, then it's likely you're pretty much even with your opponent. So if you're winning, well, like 60% at least of these matches, that's already really good. Both of them apparently have been very, very strong in deciding sets this year. Which
What was the Zheng one? What was the Zheng stat there?
19-4.
Yeah, that's significantly better than her well, what would her overall win record be? I mean, it'd be...
Yeah, I think it's even better than her overall win rate, yeah.
Yeah, this bottle of water is just a 2-liter bottle of water, so it's not anything special, but...
Ferdial second serve. Aye, and there's another error. Trying to run around like she did, I think, in the 30-all point to break Rybakina in the second set. I think she had a second serve kick at the body, and then Zheng runs around and wins that point. Not this time, though. Overcooks it, and we'll actually get another second serve to crack.
Let's see, is it going to be another return down the middle, or is it going to be... She's going to go aggressive or a bit safer, let's see. She's going to have to... She's got forced out wide. There was a decent second serve, so...
Yeah, we were praising that payoff that she got in that 2-all game in the second set for her returning strategy, but it's just not happening too frequently enough. 2 very makeable returns here. I'm not saying she has to win these points, but at least get them going. I don't know if you caught it as well, but it seemed like Rybakina was a little bit irritated with Zheng telling her to wait.
Oh, yeah, she did. I saw her looking irritated. I wasn't sure what that was about, but yeah.
Yeah, I think it was that because Zheng was then like apologizing to her, but yeah, not sure either.
That reminds me a little bit of about Rafa actually. He'd always like take a while to get ready with returning, and he'd be like, sorry. But it's you're supposed to play to the server speed, right? According to the rules, really.
Yeah, I mean, I think it says like the reasonable speed of the server, which
Right.
basically makes it a little subjective.
Yeah.
And that's actually true. I mean, Susan Leymans and Zeynep Thomas. I mean, who would have had them as potential maiden WTA Tour title winners this year? And both of them became friends of the show in April. Both of them are included in our start video or whatever. And actually, both of them are now WTA title holders. Pretty wild. Leymans, I think, broke the top 100 with hers. Did Zeynep break the top 100 with Merida? I'm not sure. But she is just the second ever player from Turkey to win a WTA Tour title. If Jake is here, I'm pretty sure he would be very happy to tell us who the first one was, as it's pretty much his favorite player. But if he's not, then, well, I'm not going to do that for him. Blocks is your pick for Matsuyama Brazy. That's crazy, but obviously I love it. I think he's ridiculously talented and would love to see him make Australian Open qualifying and just set up for next year, which I think should be a great season for him. It's just that it would be best if he actually starts from Australian Open qualies rather than has to work his way up again and everything.
A little bit of an opportunity in Matsuyama because, well, for some of the guys, Daniel withdrew late and so did McDonald. So obviously two of the tougher players that would have been in the draw. Although I guess Daniel withdrawing, he would have been quite tired. I'm not sure how much of a force he would have been anyway, but yeah.
I think last year when he was playing the 3-week challenger stretch, he went like semi-final title. But of course,
Right.
making it in a different direction, it's a bit easier for him to make that decision, especially as now he's pretty much like secured with that top 100 finish. So I think he might even withdraw from everything left in Japan, unless he wants to get like one more event in and I don't know.
Yeah, he kind of said he would.
Solid.
Kind of indicated he wanted to play Kobe, but he was sort of wasn't completely sure.
Yeah, I think he probably should play at least one more because he's defending that Auckland final at the beginning of next season, right? So, like, sure, he will finish in the top 100 now already without playing more, but then what happens after Auckland? So, and yeah, Brazy, I did watch Johannes Monday. I mean, he shows up in US Challengers quite a lot, of course, being a Brit, but playing the college system in Tennessee, certainly an exciting guy once he is able to finish off his college duties.
Decent forehand there from Zheng, draws the error from Rybakina. Yeah, so that little section with where Taro Daniel withdrew from is also where you've got Ray, Sakamoto, Watanuki, Zhao, Rodionov. So a little chance maybe for one of those guys to do something, but certainly
Rodionov just lost to Taro easily, so I guess he liked the chance. And yeah, Zhu Watanuki, the winner of that match. Definitely. Do you think that Zheng has the potential to ever achieve what Lina did, considering that was her inspiration for tennis, says Valorant Nerd? So if we're looking like in in a nutshell at what Lena did was what? Win a slam, get to number 2 in the rankings? Yes. My answer is yes.
Lena won 2 slams though, which is...
Oh right, yeah, French Open as well. I was thinking just about Australia. I mean, yeah, 1-2 slams, I guess. Well, it is a big difference, but yeah, let's just say win a slam, get to like the top 3 in the rankings. I think so, yes.
Yeah, at least 1 slam is a reasonable, I think, expectation for her, but it's...
And that's gonna be
yeah,
2 breakpoints for her here.
Yeah, and yeah.
An error from Rybakina in this longer rally. I think that Qinwen, like, she's a very obviously talented player. Like, you watch her and it just strikes you instantly. And there should still be a fair bit to, like, a fair room for improvement in her game. And I don't think it's her final form quite yet. There will be moments when the WTA Tour won't be as, like, Sabalenka Świątek dominated. That's when she might swoop in. And yeah, if I was gonna like bet on it right now, I would say she probably gets 1 slam in her career at least. Yeah, that was an opportunity already on the first breakpoint. Rybakina finding that flat hit eventually. I was thinking if it even will clear the net, as it was clearly very, very low. But that is what is causing the error from Zheng once again. She's trying to redirect line from it. 1 more breakpoint.
Oh. So will be a second serve.
Let's see if this time her strategy pays off. It's a good return, but will it be enough to give her the game?
Yeah.
Some really good movement, but the backhand slide, yes. The forehand, less so. That's a classic as well for her. But good on Rybakina for spreading the court and not making an error.
Yeah, Rybakina just a little bit of a step ahead there. Oh, wow. So another break point for Qinwen, as they call her.
Such an amazing nickname.
Yeah, it's nice to be able to have a name that fits so well into a nickname like that. But
yeah.
Oh, and what a return! The backhand down the line, just great timing. And yeah.
Yeah, the previous one was like a classic. She was stretched, so she just finds it middle, doesn't care about the placement. But here she actually goes for the less high percentage option. She manages to land it perfectly. And who knows, maybe this is the match right here. We'll see. Of course, she also led by a break in the second set, just wasn't able to convert it and consolidate it. And converted worked as well, but I was more thinking along the lines of consolidated, as in got broken the next game, and now she will try to avoid that error.
Yeah, this is potentially a pretty good win for her. I mean, obviously we know Rybakina just coming back, but she's worked her way into this match pretty well, Rybakina, and had some pretty good play herself. So yeah, I think it's more like just mentally to get a victory here for Zheng. It is just good for her in her career.
Well, Brazy, it's a tough topic about the amateur eligibility, but they are still, like most of college players are still playing ITFs. when they're in college. The earning money thing, usually they're just not gonna get that money, or they're just gonna like you can earn enough to cover your expenses or something like that. But yeah, I mean, most of them will still have some professional appearances in the meantime, at least. And you don't avoid your eligibility by doing that, no.
Yeah, they have the the breaks from their semesters, and then they can play those professional events, right? And they usually do.
Especially in the summer, you're always gonna see players just like starting their pro season in, let's say, June, and then they play until mostly September. And of course, there are different cases as well. Sometimes the colleges allow them to go for even longer, but yeah, they just can't earn like I think they can earn enough to cover their expenses or something like that, and anything above that they're not gonna get. But yeah, most of them, especially the most promising ones, they still play a lot of pro events during their time in college. Well,
Yeah.
40 love, great rally from Zheng again, finding that forehand line.
Remember there was a ITF like 25 or yeah, in Korea, and I was just seeing some of the clips of it, and then you're like, who is this guy that's sitting so well? And then you realize, why are they so ranked so low? And then you realize, oh, they're at college. They're just playing like on the off season, right? So yeah, there's
It's
some
a
good players
classic,
there.
yeah. Yeah, I think every single time that you get that a lot in like especially the US challengers, but anywhere else as well. Someone in an ITF event beats another player, and it's like a major upset via ranking, and then you kind of
Yeah.
have to check whether he plays college, because then a lot of it like starts making sense. Because I
Yeah.
don't know. I mean, personally, I don't follow the college scene. Like I'm aware of the college
No.
players that are showing up in challengers or ITF events and doing well. Yes, I'm aware of them, but I don't actually know how well they're doing in college. So there's a lot of cases when I just see a new name on the ITF tour, and I'm like, yeah, that probably is a college player. And yes, so then you can kind of know that, well, even if their ranking is low, they're probably much better than it.
Hmm. Yeah, it seems to be a good path for some players. Yeah, because I do wonder, like, yeah, obviously you've had some good players come through the college, but I think, just stepping into professional tennis when you're like 17, 18, unless you're like really, really good, it can maybe be a bit much, and maybe college gives you that sort of a bit more time to build and maybe improve your technique as well and stuff. But
yeah, just 4 years of great practice for free. Also, a backup plan in case the career doesn't make it. In case you
yeah,
don't make it, so it's a really a fantastic option. I think it was August Holmgren when we were in Porto with John, who said that, like, according to him, if you're not winning ITFs by the time you're 18, you should go college, because that's just the reality of it. And I
right.
would very much agree with that. Yeah, I think soon enough we might even see some, like saturation in college, because now everybody wants to take that route, and the system is gonna get even stronger. Wow, it's an incredible backhand line. I do kind of have to say, well, this moment, like 0-15 to go for it. Well, she's close to losing this match. I guess you might as well. She's losing a lot of these forehand cross-court trades right now, either with an error or just with Qinwen firing that forehand line when she can, like she did to win the last game, when
Yeah.
Elena was just getting a bit more predictable, a bit too comfortable in that pattern. Now it's the Rybakina box that is looking very anxious. taking a set here though, like for Rybakina, it will keep her alive. I think in most of the qualification scenarios, regardless of what happens next. But like she would have to beat Sabalenka in the third match, so she really has to try to make her way back here somehow.
Well done there from Rybakina, I think. Yeah, you can. Zheng's really determined here to try and get this done as quickly as possible. She's has become more aggressive as the match has gone on, but Rybakina was staying cool there in that last rally. Oh, another return down the middle doing work for Zheng. What actually is Rybakina's height?
Gotta be 180 something. I'm just not sure how tall exactly. It's another great return, but she overcooked that cross-court forehand.
Forehand, yeah.
Maybe this is one of them where like it didn't need all that much spin. Maybe there was space to step in a bit more. Well,
so Rybakina's 184 centimeters. She's about the same height as me, so.
It's taller by myself, but taller than myself by a few. Again, it's the footwork that gets her there, really. Making sure to extend the point, another good slide backhand, and more and more opportunities keep popping up for Qinwen here.
Good serve. And this is in that second set, you know, Zheng had chances to break and couldn't take it. And then Rybakina broke after that. So that was a series of serves that went out wide. Oh, that was great backhand.
Slightly more mobile player than Rybakina maybe still gets it, but you know, it would have been a good opportunity for Qinwen anyway. Probably one of the first times she's hit that shot in this match, really, which also adds to the surprise of it. And third breakpoint already in this game, and this is another one on the second serve. I think the first one was also on the second, and Qinwen got a really good return in, but didn't manage to capitalize. Now, yeah, no, I don't like that. I don't necessarily condone that. No.
That big wide serve on the ad side from Rybakina been causing trouble for Zheng quite a few times.
Yeah, she was so far out of the court already. I don't think this was ever gonna work. Just like slapping it like this, probably not.
Oh.
Moving very well again to extend.
Oh, that was a nice rally.
is enough eventually, yeah. The banana pass in the end probably could have been a better volley from Rybakina, but this is again just like all credit to Qinwen for staying in the point.
Yeah, moving well and just
Such a
staying on
difference
top
in
of it.
terms of how dynamic they are. Just needs to take that one of these breakpoints eventually. Fourth chance.
Oh,
Nice
wrong
one
foot in
again.
her with nice forehand.
Yeah, lots of these points where like Rybakina is just playing pretty cross-court, flat at the Qinwen forehand, but now she's finding the options to lock up the forehand line, and usually it's a winner. 5-1, serving for the match, Qinwen Zheng. Really, really good win if she can take this. I think even despite the Rybakina rustiness.
Oh wow. Just dropping in. Yeah, onto the line. I mean, this match has been going on for quite long, hasn't it? I mean, 2 hours 22.
Yeah, I mean, the pace of play is pretty fast, of course, with their serves, but still lots of games. The opener lasting about 50 minutes. I think this set, especially, maybe is like more about long games rather than, of course, having a lot of them. But yeah, 2 hours, almost 2 hours and 30. I think on this court, most of the time the matches are gonna be shorter than this. But well, Rybakina's still fighting.
Yeah.
That's a return you can't do anything about, really. It just hits you in the feet. And still 2 points away. But now might actually get some, some tension right at the very end. We are assuming right at the very end of this match, at least. It's a great serve. Really should be able to put this away. And yes, I mean, Rybakina moving like a German tanker there.
And here we go. Match point. And probably would be one of the best victories of her career.
I think so.
And that's it.
Great stuff. I mean, the 0-1 matches, I think they tend to be really, really tense. And, well, for both players, this was massive. Qinwen getting to 1-1 and now facing Jasmine Paolini in the third match. Whereas Rybakina, I mean, she won a set at least, which helps her qualification scenarios a little bit, but she will basically have to hope for, well, an easy win over Sabalenka, maybe. Oh, I don't know. Or actually, you know what Rybakina can hope for? Paolini beating Sabalenka now, because then she has she still has a shot then. But yeah, it's not gonna be easy. Either way, I mean, she's not gonna be the commander here anymore. She is going to be forced to rely on others as well.
Yeah, I'm not really expecting Paolini to get the win over Sabalenka, so. And
well, that can still work. That can still work for her, right? But then it would have to be Paolini beating Zheng, and then Rybakina has to beat Sabalenka. So the calendar is not really suiting Rybakina there.
Oh, she looks quite upset there. Is that just almost a... Did she have tears in her eyes there? I wasn't quite sure if that was the case, but she looked a bit upset, Rybakina. So, yeah, I mean, obviously, for Zheng, huge win. I don't know, can you say it's the biggest win of her career? I mean, the biggest win is probably that one over Świątek in the Olympics, and obviously to win maybe the gold medal, but in terms of, obviously,
I would say maybe even the final of the Olympics. Just
the final, of course.
Yeah. Like even more than the one against Świątek for me, but I understand if someone wants to say Świątek semi as well. But yeah, it's one of the best, I think. Rybakina is obviously still quite rusty, but for Qinwen to beat a player of this caliber and also the way that she did, blowing that second set lead, becoming just like so much better in terms of locking up that line forehand as the match went on. Very good returning. I think that we were just complaining about it at first, of course, that she was missing so many of these second serve returns. But when she found that range, she really made it work. I think that was probably one of the plans for this match, to come back a little bit further behind and try to hit that heavy return at Rybakina's feet to the point. And yeah, when she was not executing it well, it was a nightmare. But once she finally did it, it paid off more than it didn't. So yeah, I think it is one of the best wins of her career. And given that she has to play Paolini in the third match now, like it. I mean, it's gonna be a good chance. I think she holds a dominant head-to-head lead over Jasmine.
Yeah, and I think, like you said, just the way that she was able to, obviously having lost that second set and maybe thinking that she could have won it in two if she almost got that break in the second set, and then having to come back. Also, look at the very first game as well. She had a bit of pressure in that third set, so to come through and then turn it around 6-1. I mean, that's a great scoreline. And then just she was playing up the aggression as well, and some of those rallies, towards the end, she's moving really well, and definitely a deserved winner. And first win over, I'm gonna say only her second win. Wait, I'll need to check the stats here. But obviously, first win over Rybakina, and she's got a win over Świątek. But so Rybakina's only fifth in the rankings at the moment, right? So, but nonetheless, it's been still a great one to have on paper, even if it is Rybakina coming back after a period out. But and probably she's the favorite to progress as the second in the group. As things stand, she's on top because we haven't had that Sabalenka and Paolini match yet. But it's a good opportunity for her, I think. And yeah, we still don't know who she's going to be playing. Still much to go in that other group, the orange group. This is the purple group. I'm not sure how they decide the colors, but I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry. Go on.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
Oh no, I was just actually asking, like, I mean, what's the logic behind the colors that they for the groups?
Yeah, I have no idea. It's like orange, purple, or something like that. Yeah, no idea
Yeah.
at all. Pauline, you have any chance against Sabalenka? I mean, on an off day for Sabalenka, maybe, but how often does that happen? At least of late. And that's what I'm gonna say. In terms of your question, Brazy, about the interest in the WTA finals, personally, not really. I think I will be watching some of the ATP finals in doubles, but I don't really follow the WTA doubles circuit, to be honest. I mean, I can tell you who my favorite player is, and that's definitely Suecia, but otherwise, I'm kind of just like, yeah, sure. So, at least not from me. I also can't really call favorites because, yeah, I'm just not following it all that much. What else can we say here? Zheng lost to Sabalenka last time in 3 sets, but I mean, she already lost to her twice. She already lost to her in 2 sets this event 2 days ago. So I guess that was actually last time rather than the Wuhan final. And yeah, what else? I mean, great win for her once more. Rybakina a bit too rusty to compete with the other players at this event. It's not like she didn't give it a good shot, especially today. But I mean, at this point, she's almost 99% done. It's going to be a pretty unrealistic scenario. She basically has to beat Sabalenka, obviously. Especially, it would be very helpful to do it in 2 and then still hope for some good results in the other matches. And yeah, that is going to be very tricky considering how well Sabalenka is playing at the moment. But it is what it is. I'm sure she'll be firing more at the beginning of the 2025 season when everyone will have that off-season period and everyone will be a bit rusty to to begin.
Can we get a situation where Zheng loses to Paolini, and then
qualifies?
and then Rybakina beats Sabalenka?
I mean, yeah, of course. Rybakina has to hope for 3 players to be at 1-2, right? That's basically all it is. So it could be a Paolini 3-0, or it could be a Sabalenka 3-0, and then 3 players are 1-2, and Rybakina goes in on one of the tiebreakers. But yeah, it would be very, very helpful for her to beat Sabalenka 2-0 as well, because without that, I'm not even sure there's a scenario where that happens. So yeah, I don't know. She will just have to rely on others plus beat Sabalenka, which is, for starters, that's the tough part already. And for now, Qinwen Zheng, she's just 1-1. I mean, she definitely doesn't have anything guaranteed, but she has just put herself in a great position for Wednesday. And yeah, just played a lovely match today. Is able to get one of the best wins of her career. Anything more?
No. Any idea what time that match will be on? The match between Zheng and Paolini? I don't know if the schedule's
for now.
Right. Yeah.
I think we know that the timing of the 2 singles matches will be the same as today, but otherwise, I don't think we know which one will come when, because they want to be flexible, right? Because if one of them is a bit rubber, for example, then I think they want to keep it first and then go with the more high-profile one later. So I think they're flexible. Yeah.
Yeah. So if it's the early one again, it'll be probably okay for me to watch. If it's the later one, it might be more difficult. But yeah, we'll see.
Oh, sorry, guys. All right. I guess that will be it then. As you can see, it's getting deep and dark outside my window. I have to go eat something. And of course, keep tuning into the channel. I don't know if do we have a stream from the next match or not? I'm not aware of our schedule for today, but
No,
we'll
I don't think
definitely
so.
have more
No,
coming?
we haven't. We're going to probably skip the next one, but we'll pretty much have, I think, every match for the rest of the tournament. Certainly, the next couple of days, we've got that covered anyway. So most of the matches, if not all of them, will be on the channel, but just probably not going to do Sabalenka Paolini.
Yeah, so probably skipping the next one, but the next few days you're gonna have everything covered on the channel. So make sure to tune in for that. Definitely tomorrow, both matches. Krejcikova against Pegula, and then later Świątek Goff. From us, I guess for today, it's probably going to be it. Thank you to everyone in the chat, and thank you to Eddie. It was super fun watching this match, and well, Rybakina disappointed, but I am very pleased about the performance of Qinwen Zheng. And yeah. Thank you.
And do we think that Eddie will have finished his water by the next time he's on the show, maybe on Wednesday?
Sure.
Let us know in
the next bottle.
Yeah, exactly. Cheers, guys.
If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe and click that notification bell so you don't miss out on all things tennis.